3, 2, 1. Hey guys,
Yay!
welcome back.
We're back.
We are back unexpectedly because the last part of the video failed because of me. So
Nah, it's just technology. It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All good, all good.
all right. Well, nice to see you again.
You too. Thank you.
So we'll go over some of the questions you've
questions.
given me through YouTube.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
What do you have?
Cold weather.
Snow, not snow.
Yeah. Snow.
And cold weather.
Yeah. So in Tokyo, basically, it doesn't get really cold enough that I have to wear shoes in the winter, usually. But if it does snow, then either I don't go outside, or I will wear shoes if it's for very long. But usually end up taking them off just to put some footprints in the snow, and just for the opportunity to have that experience each year.
So I guess when it's snowing, you would put on some shoes, right?
Yes.
If it's not snowing and if it's just cold, you
Yeah.
just go barefoot.
If it's, basically I can get down to minus 1 or 2 degrees if it's dry. But if it's wet, then nah, well, at that point it's not wet, it's frozen. And that's no good for my little foot.
Right. So if it's raining when it's ultra.
Raining, well, no, if it's raining above 0, then it's raining.
Wow.
It should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But if it gets below 0 into snowing temperature, then, and snowing, then no go.
Probably not safe either.
For me, it's not, because I'm not trained to, but some people can do that, the proper breathing techniques. Like, Wim Hof
Sort of.
level, yeah.
Well, you could be that girl one day.
Yeah. Not at this point a priority, but yeah. Many things are possible.
Yep. Cool. What's next?
How often do I clean my feet? So, basically, when I arrive home, if they're not like that dirty, I just like brush them off and walk inside. Don't worry about it. If they're actually dirty, then I'll just run in the shower just inside the entrance of my apartment, and wash my feet in there. So it's basically each time I get home is the question mark. Do I wash my feet or not? Kind of thing. And then when I take a shower at night, they usually have already been cleaned, so I almost always just ignore them at shower time because they would have been cleaned or not. But it's interesting. On rainy days, when I get home, my feet are clean because nothing. I'm not sure how it works exactly, but the rain just seems to wash off all the dirt. And I just like shake, and they're dry, done. Yay! And get home. So that's nice.
Is there sometimes that you have to like wipe off your feet when you go like enter some places like outside the house?
Yeah, rarely, but I don't. Did we record this last time? I went to a nice restaurant, and the guy was like looking. He's like, "Do you have shoes?" I was like, "No." Yeah. And so he gave me the oshibori. Did we record this?
That's the part that failed.
Yeah. Oh, then, so he basically asked, he gave me a cloth towel. He asked if I would be willing to wipe my feet. I was like, yeah, no problem. So I dutifully wiped my feet clean.
Yep.
I gave him the towel back. And he's like, no. I do not want that. Go ahead and keep it.
Wait, did I?
Yeah. Oh, no.
大丈夫。
よかった。大丈夫。よかった。
It's recording.
Yeah. Do the
It's
whole
always a
thing.
nightmare. Oh my god.
Yeah, do the whole thing. You're wearing many hats, and I'm wearing no shoes.
That's funny.
Yeah. There's one more, like in the airport, from the airport onto the plane, the jetway. Some airlines request that I wear shoes, like for their insurance purposes or what. But some airlines are like, yeah, no problem. and they don't worry about it. So it's interesting. But yeah, it's very rare that I have to wear shoes to go places here in Tokyo. I'm very grateful for that.
We failed again. This failed again. Second cut.
Yay, we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
What did we get up to?
Bowling.
So, yes, I rarely try to go bowling, but I have gone bowling in Tokyo, and I have tried to talk my way in to go barefoot in the bowling center, but they were like, and I am certain that they do specifically have rules that say that people must wear shoes. So I'm like, yeah, all right, just order the biggest shoes that they have because their feet are big. But then the good thing is, once I am wearing the bowling shoes, I can slide around on the nice wooden surface. So I always do that whenever I have a chance.
That I can imagine you doing.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise I wouldn't be able to with my bare feet. So every opportunity I can to slide around.
To slide, man. Not to go bowling, but to slide.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fun. Okay.
Thank you.
Next one is the pedicure or the feet massage.
Yeah, pedicure. Okay, pedicure specifically. So no.
It's fine, massage as well.
Yeah, but back in my university days, we did play around. I have a picture somewhere of 3 feet pointing inward, and we had all done different nail colors. So, but that was not professionally done at all. University. Yeah. In fact, I had polka dots on my. I think I can pull a picture somewhere.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. And but yeah, for a massage, I received a massage from my ex-wife's, at that time, my wife's sister, who was very professional and gave a fine, foot massage. But then later, through the family, conversations, I heard that she was like, don't show. She's like, Dekai, they're so big. And she said, basically, she was she probably suited, she was worried about her ability to give a proper massage, but it was fine, It's funny to hear that after the fact, because her hands were smaller than my feet, so yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, I'm also stunned if I had to do it, I think. Yeah, I want to take a closer look at it again. We're going to get to mention, but this arch is quite, big.
Quite archy?
Archy.
That's not a word in English, sorry.
Archy.
Yeah. That's a name,
Archie. When you make rock, you don't get to bend that much, I think.
Yeah.
Normally.
How to articulate.
This is as much as it goes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this joint is not.
So. Can you do this? That's it.
Yeah.
Hola. Heart.
Yay.
Heart. You see the difference though, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, this coconut,
that
joint is so flexible.
Yeah. I don't know why not wearing shoes might allow that, but I have heard that the shoes stop the flexibility of the.
Probably it though, yeah. Because when you're walking, if you're walking like a bump like that, your arch has to go this way.
Yes.
Just to go bend this way.
Yeah.
But with the normal shoe,
it just kind of
you never have to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
When I get to sometimes the bumps in streets, I will specifically put my arch on top of the field. So I'd say exactly. But yeah.
I have a question. So I have hiesho, feet and my hands super cold in the wintertime. I'm already cold actually.
Yes.
If I just keep exposing my feet, direct skin to the surface, every heat's gonna transmit through the ground, and like I'll be left with no shoes. No, seriously, I don't think I'll be able to survive. Like, how do you feel cold at all?
Well, it's yes is one answer, and then I get used to it is another part of the answer. But I think the main point that because I'm walking barefoot, there's lots of circulation happening. With all the sensations and the different the motions and activity. I think there's a stronger blood flow in my feet. But yeah, when I get home, my feet are cold. I mean, it's like just like basically ice cold, and I don't know how they survive, but they somehow do. So the combination.
For you?
It's. I won't say they get numb, but they get used to the coldness, and I just don't really think about it. But I've never really worried about it because everything's working fine. When did it snow last time? It may have been this year that it snowed, and I walked in the snow just for fun. But I overdid it for like 15 minutes. I was walking in snow to the convenience and back, and by the time I got back, it was really too much for my feet. And I think my feet were kind of tingling for a day and a half or 3 days afterward. I could still feel it. And I was like, oh man, that was okay. Duly noted, So I definitely have limits.
Yeah, like sometimes when you are lost in like snow or mountains, you have this like symptom, like your skin goes like black or something.
Well,
what's it called?
Frostbite in English. Yeah,
that's really bad.
Yes,
right?
There's
a chance you could get that. No?
Yes, and I did look that up. There's a thing called frost nip, which has its specific definition and is recoverable. Frostbite is when the cells freeze and don't recover. And frost nip is like a lighter version of that. I don't live in snowy areas, and so I don't know those details. But yeah, it's serious business. So maybe I got frost nip on that time that I was running around barefoot in the snow. It was very shallow snow, so I thought it would be all right. Man, it was cold. So,
just thinking about it.
Learn my lesson. Yeah.
I really hope this one went okay.
Yeah. That reminds me of a story, actually, that it's connected to spirituality. This is it's a sad story, but I saw a mom. The boy, he was crying, and she was like, it was something like, Hitori dakara shoganai. I took it to say, I'm alone, so this has to happen this way. And I can read into the whole story, like, there was a problem with the relationship or her relationship or what. I have no idea. Seemed like a lot of stress. Her anger was coming out toward the child. She wasn't like hitting him or anything like that, but she was like kind of bitchy. Can we say bitch on your channel? I don't know. We can now. Beep. She was griping at her, and I was standing there. I was like, in Japan, we don't go interrupt people. But I started walking. I put my bag down, and I was like, I guess we're doing this. And I walked up to her. And I basically, can I touch her shoulder? Yeah. So she's facing her kid here. I came up from her from like the side so she can see, so I'm not trying to scare her. And I said something like, he is very small. That's all I said. He was like, crying, and I kind of ignored him, but I faced her. I said, I don't remember if I could have said it, what I would say in Japanese. I don't even know how I would say it now, but I remember saying he's very small. Yep. My intention was not to blame her, but my intention was to receive her
energy, her anger. It's like, I can handle it. He can't handle it. He doesn't know what's going on. And I don't know exactly, but I might have touched the child. I don't know. But I was just hoping from her, like, to get this anger so she can use her motherly love connection with him. I don't know how it turned out. If it was helpful, I hope it was helpful. I don't know, but I was moved through that. Like, in Japan, we ignore everything, or in Tokyo, I'll say Tokyo, ignore everything, but I couldn't in that moment. I stepped through that fear, and this story came up because you stepped, I'm guessing, through the fear. Like, can I make a video series about, you know, my one and onlys? So I want to honor you and acknowledge you. Thank you. It's important to step through that fear.
Yeah, I guess with my project, I just had so much excitement. And then I couldn't even notice my fear.
Good.
That was there though,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
before. But just the excitement kind of like
Yes,
went over
it trumped. Yeah. It kills it. So I've often said, like, that direction, it's excitement and fear. That's the way to go.
Yeah,
And it
so
works
true.
in incredible number
That's
of
so
times.
true.
Yeah.
It's in the same direction.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a story.
Thank you.
Hope it helped too.
Thank you. I do too. I gave her my card. I said, you can call me. Never heard from her. But yeah, I've often thought, just I hope it was helpful. So yeah.
We'll go back to your healing work later,
Okay.
which I'm very interested in. Yes. Oh yeah, we were gonna talk about. So can you give us like a real easy
Day-to-day
timeline? Like
Right.
wake up what time,
Right.
work what time, eat what time, kind of stuff.
Yes. I'm in a bit of a transition period now.
Yeah.
So I quit that job, and like, let's say June 1st was my first day off from that company. Now, working with my business coach, I'm building up my connection coaching as a connection coach for men, helping men who, you know, are ambitious to like do that thing, but are like stuck with whatever may be, but to help go through the emotions, find that inner gold by processing and healing the emotions so they can come out on the side of like life purpose and back into wholeness. Because we all like I'm watching a little kid across the way, like in play and beautiful joy, completely a whole human, but we're taught, sit down, be quiet, no, and we take on all this stuff, and it kind of covers the life purpose and covers the heart. And so my work is to help uncover the heart. You know, now that you become adults, the inner work can begin. It's like peel off the layers of like all the suppression and all this stuff.
Right.
So that's the coaching work that I do. And I say that it's a connection coaching, and the first connection is to the heart. So connect to your heart, and from there can begin to really shine forth, you know, who you want to be in the world, who you're meant to be in the world. And so that is the focus of a lot of my time now, to like leading my men's group, still ongoing, although I'm not leading it on a weekly basis. That has grown to the degree that other men are stepping into the leadership role each week. So that project is underway, Mankind Project Japan, and I'm very grateful for how much support that group has given me, and I'm humbled that it has grown beyond me, and it has helped men beyond which I would be able to do by myself. And even in French language as well, fascinatingly enough. One of the attendees could basically handle the level of English that was required. And he's like, I can do it in French.
Yeah.
And so he started a French group, and that's like, wow, that's amazing. But this type of work is important, can be transferred to the next person, and is critical. So that's my mission now, to help people discover their inner truth and the life purpose and the ways of being that are more in alignment with how they want to show up in the world. Whether people believe in a life purpose or not, it still is helpful to be in alignment with the heart and with joy and connecting to really how we can kind of show up in the world in a offering more than taking kind of way. Kids grow up and it's like take me, and so at some point that I say it needs to shift. It doesn't always, and some people just stay in that mode, but my want is to help people who want to step into a different way of being to do that.
It's really important work, and definitely more of that happening throughout Japan. One of the things I noticed is the therapeutic practice here in Japan is so underrated, and so little money.
Here's some drugs.
Yeah, that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah, it's really
a lot
sad.
of professionals, I think, they struggle financially. I think I've seen a lot of job listings for psychologists here. Those pays are just, I cannot believe how little they are.
Wow.
Yeah, what you're doing is really important. And your hope is, right, is to be able to sufficiently,
Yes.
make ends meet
Yes.
for your own life,
Yes.
doing what you love.
Yes.
So I really hope that's coming
Thank
through.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm still working part-time as a programmer for a different company.
Right.
But the connection coaching business is growing. Just starting, but continuing to grow. So
It's exciting.
yay!
Yeah.
But so day to day, like today is Thursday, and I don't have any clients, so the weather is scheduled to be rainy on Saturday. So hey, let's do it today. So
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, and
So you have some programming work
yes,
that you're doing freelance as a freelancer.
yeah, basically freelance
From home, you're working.
from home. Yeah.
How much are you working per?
30 hours per month.
Wow.
So it's not even quarter time.
Wow.
It's it's just enough to cover all of the expenses if I don't have other income. I was a little bit afraid to just quit everything and be like, oh my god, how am I going to swim? And so I'm still keeping this one job that is, like I said, just enough to cover the basics.
I see.
And but that is not on a specific schedule, so I can do that work whenever I like.
Is there something that you're specifically doing at the moment to promote yourself, to become this figure, to help other people?
Yeah, it's interesting the way you phrase that, because when I think about become this figure that's going to help people, I'm like, who, me? No way. I'm just Barefoot Rob. But thank you. What I do naturally is listen. I have heard many people, whether it's in the men's group or randomly talking to people, will share their stories and then say, wow, I feel so much better just being able to get it out and just be able to say it. And the value, I'm still exploring this concept. Why does that help? I don't really know, but it's so many times I've heard people say, I feel so much better just being able to say that, acknowledge it. It's I think it's something about being witnessed by a human that is kind of a stand-in for divine grace of another presence who can just hold the space And so that's part of what I do naturally. Just hold the space, hear the stories, like ask questions if that makes sense to help kind of bring some clarity to where the wounds were coming from, or what can be beneficial for people to move forward, or to think about something else, or to like a little practice, whatever it may be. And so I'm coming back to your question. What I do, I lead the barefoot walking event. I attend the men's group regularly. When my partner Jess is in town, or when I'm in her town, we've been leading a connection circle event, which is a chance for both genders, men and women, to explore the inner masculine and feminine, and the inner wounded masculine and wounded feminine, and the healed, healthy masculine, healthy feminine, to explore these, and like in what kind of environment were we raised, and what was the experience. And this workshop is really like an opportunity to begin that inner work. She's full-time as a trauma recovery coach for adults, a childhood trauma recovery coach. And so yeah, part of with inspiration, okay, it's possible. All right, let's do this thing. Now I'm a connection coach. Yeah. The day to day is just leading, holding space. Every Sunday I'm in Yoyogi Park for my self-care, running around, playing Frisbee, and doing, I'm repping the Sogo Fitness shirt. So I knocked off my microphone. Oops. And so the Sogo boot camp is every Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon, and then Frisbee from 12:30 to 4:30. Come on out. And so there, the community is beautiful, a lot of people, and it's indirectly through there that I met you from the acro yoga community. True. And I have held space for people who are having relationship problems, or work problems, or life problems, whatever it may be. And so just that is part of how I begin like helping someone through the process, is just being there for my friends.
This hold the space, this phrase, I was just trying to like imagine how I would translate that to Japanese. I feel like there's no direct translation, to be honest.
I can describe it if that was helpful.
Yeah, I've experienced it firsthand, so I know what that is.
Okay. Let me not overthink it too much. I know I'm interrupting you. I'm not holding space.
That was funny.
Holding space. What I do, so to speak, is empathetically hear someone's story in a non-reactive, non-judgmental way, recognizing if I were in that situation, I'd be in the same, with the same feelings, and be acting the same or similar way, probably. So just being really in tune with how we're all just having a human experience.
That's a good way to put it.
And while like my client may be experiencing lots of emotions, whether it's sadness or fear or anger, my presence is simply here, like a mirror. The mirror doesn't have any judgment about whoever's being reflected by the mirror. And so it's not necessarily the case of reflecting, but just, and not even absorbing either. The way I visualize it, the emotions may be coming to me, I hear the words, but I also have a psychic shield up, and I imagine letting the emotions be grounded into earth. Earth can handle it, a human emotional experience can be handled by the planet. Imagine it being grounded and transmuted and processed, and whatever word you want to kind of use there. But it's witnessing without reaction, without judgment, having the just an understanding that it's a fellow human being having their experience. There are times that I'm feeling very emotional and I need to be like, "Ugh," and get it out of my system, and that's where the men's group comes in for me. And it's also just having my space held. I'm not sure if that's something having my space held is great, and it's such a valuable experience. So I'm happy. It's just what I do naturally somehow.
No, I'm really amazed to actually be part of your circle or become friends with you, because I told you briefly about my Thailand experience.
Yes.
I was in this foundation's community called New Life Foundation.
Yes.
And when I'm in proximity with you, that's what I remember. That's what my body remembers.
Yeah.
I was in touch with this being. This being was within all of us in that community.
Yes.
We have this essence, but what I'm amazed is that you can carry this essence and just give out this gentle and yet, surely there kind of energy field. It's really hard for me to do the same still when I'm in this city called Tokyo. I try my best, and I think I've gotten better at it, but I've never seen anyone as good as you do this in a big city like this. So and when I'm talking about, I'm like,
me too.
goosebumps.
So
that's what I feel. You carry that community with you. I feel that community essence that I experienced there. This, you say, holding space. I experienced it firsthand. Like, you hold men's group, right? There are so many groups, like women's group, men's group, and there was this process group. That's what it's called. Do you know that?
I've been part of that.
Oh that was my favorite part. You just make circle with like 10 other people or something, and there's facilitator, right? And then we just hand tokens to each other, and put in circle. And when it's your turn, you speak your experience, but others can comment, but not make any advice.
No advice, no judgment.
And it's a safe space. No information goes out of the circle. Stays in there.
That is like, this is a sacred space, and that non-disclosure clause is very important for the safety.
And this act of sharing in itself is so healing. And that, oh my God, I cannot just express how important his work is to be doing this in the heart of Tokyo. I hope everyone will realize this.
Thank you. On Saturday when we were in Sunday in Yoyogi Park, I introduced you to my friend Maxence. He is also doing this type of work, and he also has this type of energy. I would say even to a deeper degree of he's been on this spiritual path longer than I have.
Oh, really? Okay.
He and his friend Emiko are basically running a retreat center in Nagano. I'm not sure how else to describe it.
Okay.
They're a very beautiful space, and Maxence is in Philippines now with his teacher and his support system there. So they're bringing that energy into Nagano. And, he and it gets way off track from this interview, but
that's fine.
So there is a woman named Mamiko who I met in 2021 or 2022 at a book launch event or book signing event that I got. It's all related to that, because it's related to barefoot, because I did a barefoot walking event in Yoyogi Park. One guy came, he said, "Oh, you should meet my friend Julian, he's really cool, blah blah blah." So I went to this book event. I met a woman named Mamiko there. she was like, "Oh, why are you barefoot? Blah blah blah." And so I was like, "Yeah, come try it out." So she and I went to Rinko Park in Yokohama for what at that point was a monthly barefoot walking event that I was having, like every second Saturday or something. I don't remember. She was the only attendee that day, and it was a beautiful day, sunny and beautiful and fantastic. We were literally in the grass, literally like crawling around on the grass because there was clover. It was beautiful, amazing. And I found a honey bee, which looked basically like it was dying. And I was just shocked. I was like, oh my God, did I crush this bee unknowingly? It's possible. We were sitting there for a while, moving around. And it was like moving, it was alive, but it was like, oh my God, I felt so bad, but it wasn't like flying, for one thing. And for a while, I was like trying to use a blade of grass to help it stand up, right? And I was like, oh my God, I felt so sad. I could even cry now just thinking about it. I felt like that was just so sad. And I told Mamiko, I was like, I just feel so big, like I'm too big. And I may have crushed this little innocent bee, and I was feeling terrible. Right now, you and I are sitting this close together. At that time, Mamiko and I were sitting about 50 centimeters apart, like just about. And I was talking, and we were looking at this bee, and we're like, what do we do? Nothing, who knows? And a little bird this big flew down from wherever and landed in between us. He hopped over here, he went over there, and then he came back between us and he flew away. And I said, that's interesting. Here I am, like, God, I'm too big. And a little bird said, nah, you're not too big. Don't worry about it. I'm not scared of you. And I just felt like this answer coming from the universe. It's like, dude, you're not too big. Come on, Rob, you're gonna be all right. Get over it. You're the right size.
Wow.
And it was like, holy shit, that's wild.
Yeah.
And Mamiko and I, like in that moment, like, that's so weird. What are the chances? And like 0. That never happens. But it happened. Right, exactly. It was little, like, what's it called? Like sparrow in English. Suzume. Yeah. Through that connection, I introduced Mamiko to Maxence, and they got along very well. And Maxence talked about the Philippines, and she's like, I'm going. So she went to the Philippines and reported back to me it was great. And she went again, and it was great. And just this past October, mid-October, what was it, 13th to the 17th or something, I saw her again. Jess and I, my partner Jess and I, were in Nagano for a retreat at Maxence and Emiko's place. Kazejiva is the name. And Mamiko was there. Mamiko was glowing with just her. From when I met her 2 years ago, she looked like she was just radiant. Compared to, she was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't really know. And it was really amazing to see her much more confident, much more like assured, like sure of herself. And she's like, Rob, it's all because of you. Introduced me to Maxence, introduced me to the Philippines and the whole thing. And so now seeing that, I'm like, all right, I'm sold. I'm going to go. I want to go to the Philippines.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet, but I'm thinking this coming 2025 at some point.
Wow.
I'm going to go there for a retreat or something.
I also need to go.
Yeah. Highly recommend
Wow. That's wonderful. Yeah, Maxence's coming back to Japan in
Yes.
December, so I
Immediately
cannot
back in
wait
December.
to
Yes.
hear from him
Yep,
firsthand. Yeah.
They're probably going to do an end of year retreat at their place in Nagano.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is cold as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to go, but yeah, it was really. I did go last year, and it was nice. There was an experience. I wore shoes, just for the record. We went hiking at something temple, which is like, it was on, New Year's Day. So it was nice entrance, and there's like, whoop, up a slope. Completely snowy, treacherous. There were people coming who were not prepared to go hiking in the snow. I had hiking boots on, and even I was like not too slippery because it was like all the snow was packed down and really slippery. And it just kept getting steeper and steeper. And I got to a point, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I am not, whatever they got up there can wait till spring. I'm not going right now. And I stopped, and the group ahead had gone ahead of me. And I was like, hey guys, I'm not going. I don't know if they heard me or whatever, but one of the people in my group twisted their ankle.
Oh.
A different man, not in my group, had fallen, and I stopped. Then I noticed someone had fallen, and people were trying to help him, and they got him into a tarp and were like carrying him down, and it was slippery and treacherous, and oh my God, and the police, not the police, the fire ambulance came, and the fire truck. I helped carry the guy down, and we got to the place where the paramedics were there, and they're like, hi, arigato, thank you very much. And when they took over, and the woman, I guess the daughter was there with her father. He had fallen, and I just basically disconnected from the group at that point, and then I just cried. It's like, that could have been me. And somehow I was like, nope, this is not safe. I'm not going to go any further.
That call.
But I just felt, it was, even though my group had gone ahead, old Rob, okay, let's go for it. I want to, but I was like, nah, this is done, and I'm okay with that. And
It's a
I
difficult
felt,
call to make.
yeah, it's no longer as difficult for me, being old and like, okay, I'll just do my thing. And it's so important for people to tune in to that. I touch my heart a lot. It's like my totem, my connection to self, and like really so important for me to remember this connection and to encourage people, anyone, to, this is like at least as much brain power is here as up as here, and probably even more.
The intuition, the first,
Yeah.
initial something that you feel is usually the right one.
Right. And like the Egyptians would throw the brain out, of the body when they mummified people.
Wow.
And like they
have a
thought
point.
the heart was, the brain was here. So that's interesting. But so just being in tune with what's right for you, I think is one of the most important skills that anyone can learn.
That's been my headline for a while now. I want to touch upon this as well. Some days I am HSP, highly sensitive person. It's become a thing. It's become
I have heard of it.
a name for those kind of people, I guess.
Yeah.
But I have this nature of wanting to explore. So those two natures go against each other, right? So there's a saying, you are going full on Excel, right?
Full
Acceleration
and full
break at the same time. It's such a dilemma.
Yeah.
And my job is to really tune in to my own intuition and really ask myself, like, hey, am I going too fast? You know, how's my body feeling? I want to go fast, but can I do that? Just take a moment to really embody my own spirit in my heart.
Yeah.
And that's been really difficult. But I think I'm getting better at it. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's
That's
important.
really important.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Cut number 3 or 4, I don't know. Oh my god.
Ready? Oh, what is it? Oh, that's the opposite of, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So next, finally, we were going to talk about his healing business. Here we
Thank you.
go.
So I work as a connection coach for men, and that is to bring men into alignment with their heart, into alignment with their true inner purpose for being here, back into wholeness. And it's always related to the traumas that we experience when growing up, as those are, it seems like it's part of the way life works, but the traumas happen when we grow up through childhood, and I help give the tools and techniques and guidance to release those emotional wounds and the samskaras and the different, the heaviness on the heart that covers that heart that we are born with, and help bring men back into the the wholeness of their true selves, the purpose of life. And it's always related to the childhood, because we're born whole, and then basically the society and family says, well, you should do this, you should do that, and we end up taking on all this different stuff that is ultimately not true for the individual in 99% of the cases. So we need to uncover those old beliefs and the wounding, going through lots of suppressed emotional energy. So that's part of the healing process, but it's also the maturing process, maturation into like, oh, who am I really? Once we know how to, live in the world, how do we live authentically in the world? So I use this term connection coach, because the first connection is with the heart, with the self. Who am I? And then I can authentically show up with the people around me, whether it's with family or co-workers, boss, employees. All of these different relationships are connections that we have, and the greatest benefit is to show up authentically ourselves and with others, so that we can have a more authentic life, more joyful life, and much smoother workings and relationships.
It's wonderful, and I'm not surprised, I'm surprised at the same time to hear that you address to this trauma issue in terms of how to live authentically, in tune with yourself.
Yes. There's, in the men's group that I've been running for a while, or now it's kind of running on its own, but the one that I founded here is this issue of the childhood traumas that are so rampant but kind of ignored in society, and it's just so important to acknowledge what happened and to look at it from a kind of a grander perspective, see what happened, to release those emotions. Basically, by experiencing them, they will stop taking up that emotional energy. But yeah, it's coming from childhood and the traumas that we received at that time.
I'm 1000% sure that this is it. I was actually on that journey myself. I read this book called Becoming the One.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of, the author is this founder of Instagram account, which is Rising Woman. There is a counterpart to Rising Man or something like that. There's a man part of that as well. And she mentions the first commitment you have to make is to connect with yourself. And that's the ground
Yes.
to be fully connected to the partner you want to be connected to.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that how first you have to connect with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you just mentioned about with the partner, but I'm saying with every relationship, it start with the self first before we can have authentic relationships with others.
So wonderful you're doing
Thank
this.
you.
And how can anyone who's interested in your service, how can they contact
my website is the best way, robnugent.com.
Yep.
And on that page, there's a link to sign up for a discovery call. But there's also events that I run if they want to get a quick, do a little barefoot walking event. I do barefoot walks and some grounding events, but also do the coaching as well to help men really bring themselves forward.
So this is for men. Do you specifically target men?
Yeah, for the marketing, yes, but yeah, I have definitely worked with women as well.
Can women get access to your service?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay.
But I'm running a men's gathering at the end of November, November 30th, and that'll be a chance to really, again, to connect with the self, to practice setting boundaries, and to be comfortable with, working with those types of energies internally, because it can be tricky to do that. So.
Okay. We'll definitely link that.
Yeah, good. Thank you. I'll send it.
His website as well as this event information.
Yes.
That's happening November 30th.
Yes, November 30th,
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Yay!
I think we're done. I hope this
We did it. Yay!
path went through. Thank you, Rob.
Pleasure.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you for being my first guest.
I'll have to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your good work as well. It's very important.
できた。
こっちか。